Okay, this is part 4 of the law 1, 2, 3, and 4, Christel's connections. And I was talking about the law and how the law, how the law is love too. How the law was given. This law, especially the 10 Commandments, is what I'm focusing on. And it was given in love, what a lot of people call the law of Moses, which actually was God's law. and and how the new ones, where Yeshua, Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and your neighbor as yourself. All of them work together, and no, they're not done away with, not them. I don't believe we need to despise the law, like some people tries to get us to do. Because really the law, in effect, was a gift for us too. It was a gift of love to us. Really, when you think about it, it was a gift to us. It was to perfect us. It was for us to see the need. We wouldn't have known wrong was wrong. We wouldn't have known. I mean, really in a whole lot of different ways. I mean, it may sound like a bunch of children, but it's just like our babies growing up. They don't know that. They don't know that it's a sin to steal things until you let them know, hey, that's a sin. You can't do that. That's not right. Or such as that, basically, and that's what happened. Like I said, Paul says in Galatians, the 5th chapter. Let's see. Yeah, the 5th chapter, verses 14, it says the entire law is fulfilled in keeping this one commandment. Love your neighbors as yourself. Understand the law is about love. So the definition of the law of Moses actually should be, in one sense of a way, loving your neighbor as yourself. You're loving God and you're loving your neighbor as yourself. That is what the 10 Commandments is about. That's what that law is about. It's love. and that's what the reinstatement of the law is, I think, when Yeshua came and he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart and your neighbors as yourself. That's what he's talking about. Right here what Paul's saying in Galatians 5. All the laws is fulfilled in this one commandment, loving your neighbor as yourself. Again, because the law is about having morals. The law is about having relationships, good relationships with each other, relationships with your neighbors, being able to trust each other. Love fulfills. Love's not sitting there when you're hurting people. And if you're obeying the law, you're not out hurting people. If you're loving your neighbor, you're not out hurting your neighbor. You're not out trying to hurt each other. You're just not going to do it. And this is the law. This is the commandments. This is the new commandment. Love God, your neighbor, and yourself, okay? Like I said, when Jesus said, I came not to do away with it, but I came to fulfill it. And this is what he was saying, in my opinion, when he was talking about John. When he said that in Matthew, he came to fulfill it. When he said, I give you this new commandment. Okay? In Leviticus 19th chapter, 18th verse. Let's see if I can. This is at the heart of the law of Christ. Okay, right here. Carry each other's burdens. In this way you will fulfill the law of Christ, as in Galatians 6:2, 1 Corinthians 9:20 and 21. Okay, I lost what Leviticus was. but it all comes the same here. Hold on. Okay, that was, where you basically shall not avenge or bear a grudge against the children of the people, but thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. And that's what he says in 18 is Leviticus 18. And he says, love your neighbors yourself. I am the Lord. And that's what That's what I... Again, that's what he's saying. Go to Galatians 6:2 and read it, or 1 Corinthians 9:20, 21, or Leviticus 19:18. That's the heart of the law. It's the heart of the law of Christ, basically, that we do carry each other's burdens. This is what Yah, the true and living God, the great I am that I am, was talking about. Love. Okay? And it kind of gets me when people's like, they get mad at you because you say, yeah, I follow the law. I do. I am following the law. They get mad at you for doing the same thing that they're saying that they got to do. Follow the commandments. Oh, we can't steal because, that's sin. But you're following the law when you say this. Oh, no, we're not. Oh, but yes, you are. And it's the law of love. And whenever you're reading, basically, whenever you're not stealing, cheating, or lying, you are actually following this law. All right. Okay, in James 2:8, James talks about keeping the royal law, and that's the love your neighbors yourself. Okay. Yeshua, by his grace, you know what he did? He actually did fulfill the law. He loved. He loved. That's what I was saying before. He actually did fulfill the law in loving us and providing he provided our righteousness for us, like in Matthew 5:17, and became a curse for us. Let me read again right here, Matthew 5:17. Let me read this again. Yeshua said, "Do not think that I came to do away with the law, but to fulfill it." And he actually did fulfill it. And that was in loving us. That was in John 3:16. He fulfilled it. John 3:16, 17, both. Okay, in other words, Jesus came to accomplish the purpose. And this was loving us to, I guess in a way, how would I say it? It was kind of going back to what Paul had said. He would not known sin was sin had it not been shown to him sin was sin. And why was that done? Because he didn't want Paul hurting himself, and he didn't want Paul hurting his neighbors. He don't want us to hurt. He don't want us to hurt himself. He don't want us to hurt our neighbors. And God don't want to be hurt. I mean, so in that sense, fulfillment was in an awareness, making you aware again, making you aware of how to love each other, making you aware of that you don't have to be mean, that you don't have to make sacrifices, making you aware of actually what loving was and what it meant to love and to be loved. We got to think about this. Oh, I'm trying to think of where it's at. Hold on. And okay, well, let me just say what it is. It talks about, and we're not supposed to break the commandments. It tells us not to break the commandments. It may be in Matthew also. But anyway, it tells us not to break the commandments, because he says whoever can break the commandments and teaches others to do that, they're called the least in the kingdom of heaven. Keeps the commandments and practices the commandments and teaches others to do this, they're called the greatest of the kingdom of heaven. So, in fulfilling the law, and the fulfillment of the law too, I was thinking this. It's like for the children of Israel before they went into the promised land. Moses had, it said to them, before he got on the rock, pretty much when he was going through the thing there. But anyway, it said to them, before they went in, you have a choice. Cursings, life or death, pretty much is what it was. And if you have life, you go into the promised land. And that's what Yeshua did. He gave us a choice, life or death. And he died that we could have that life, if we so choose to have it. He became that sin for us. But he didn't tell us we don't have to obey the law no more. He just died. He died for us. He took the penalty. But guess what? It's like that law. You can take the penalty and you pay your fine, or he paid it, but that law is still there. You still can't sin. You still can't lie. Or cheat. You still can't run that red light. That law still says you can't run it. So, in a way, it wasn't done away with. It was fulfilled. It was re-revealed, reintroduced, because it is really love. It's really about love. It's about us loving God and ourselves and each other. It's about love. Anyway, love hugs, y'all. Good night.